come on in. Hello, hello, hello. I'm Julie with Nothing is Wasted Designs, and I am waiting for Terry with Orchid Line Design to finish up. I'm in an event today with Hen House and Bloom Company, so y'all come on in. I'm going to give you a few minutes to pop on here. I'm going to do a couple of preliminary things that I need to get done before I actually start crafting. So I'm going to do that. We're going to work with this stencil. Oh, you know what? I need to show it to y'all backwards, don't I? Hang on. Let me show it to you backwards. This is what it looks like if you are actually looking at it. God bless America, land that I love. We are going to stencil this onto a pillowcase. We're going to do a pillowcase today. So we're going to wait for Terry to finish and for everybody else to pop on. If you, that flag turned out really cool. I know, I like to watch what I've been kind of offline today. So, hey there, Karen, how are you? All right, thanks for sharing me into the groups. I appreciate that. Yeah, I've got Terry in my screen over here. Hey, Berta, come on in. We're going to do a patriotic project today. I'm going to make I hope it's going to turn out. I'm going to make a patriotic pillowcase today. Hey, Carol, come on in. I know you made it. It's so good to see you. Welcome back, my friend. I have missed you. I am so glad that you are off for the summer and you can make memories with your granddaughter and your family, and in your extra time, you can hop on here and craft with me. I'm pretty excited about having you back. So anyway, we're going to wait. Terry is off now, so let me refresh the page, y'all. And see what we got. Oh, there I am. Okay, y'all come on in. Hey, Trisha, good to see you. Come on in. I'm noticing that oh, no, it's not. Okay, I thought this earring, it wants to keep going backwards. I got my stars and stripe earrings on. I have a friend whose daughter, she was 12, I think, when she made these. And anyway, so I'm glad to be back on, y'all. I've been kind of MIA for a while. I've been tired and resting, and I went to the dentist yesterday. I have the most amazing dentist. I don't know if anybody else can say that. I don't know if anybody talks about their dentist as being amazing, but she's a biological dentist, which means that she doesn't do traditional dentistry. And she's an hour and a half away from me. She's the only biological dentist in the state of Virginia. So I'm fortunate that she's at, because, it can take you 5 hours to get across the state of Virginia. So anyway, I'm thankful that, hey, Joyce, come on in. Thank you. Are you moderating today or are you just watching? All right, so I want to show y'all this. All right, this is the stencil. This is the Stencil Smith stencil. God bless America, the land that I love. And hey, Glenda, come on in. So I wanted to show y'all before I take this apart how I love the Stencil Smith stencils, but one of the things that I had to figure out was how to store these, because they don't come in a sleeve. They come separated with tissue paper. So I thought, and so if these stencils rub up against each other, they, the sharp edges kind of get hung together. And I was like, how am I going to store these stencils? So this is what I came up with. I take, this is some paper that's kind of like cardstock, and I taped it together so that I would have some kind of barrier between the stencils as they lay flat. I can't put them together, what do I want to say, vertically. So I need to lay them flat. And so I just taped this paper onto the back. I'm going to put it off to the side for now because I don't need it while I'm stenciling. And then I have another piece. This stencil comes with two different parts. It has a star part, and then it has, well, let me turn this around so y'all can see it. And then it has a, you know, the main focus of it. So I'm going to pull this off. Y'all welcome in. I am in an event with Hen House in Bloom. And the theme that we have for today is Stars, Stripes, and Summer Nights. And then we're also celebrating, all right, let me put this off to the side for just a minute. We're also celebrating National Flag Day, which is June 14th. So this is a pillowcase that I have. I am a designer with Chalk Couture. I'm an ambassador with, what do you call it? Essential Stencil. And I also have an affiliate link with the stencil that I'm going to be working with today, which is this called the Stencil Smith. So before we do anything else, I want to go ahead and just kind of iron this. Come on. Don't do this to me. Come on. And this is going to just going to go out on me. All right, that's okay. We're going to wing it, and we're going to fly by the seat of our pants and see what happens with this. So, it looks like I'm going to need to get another spray bottle because this one, I'm going to make sure that there's some air in here. There may not be enough air in here. That's what it is. Not enough air in there to do anything. All right, so I'm going to iron this particular pillowcase I got from Chalk Couture. Like I said, I am a Chalk Couture designer. I am an Essential Stencil ambassador, and I have an affiliate link, and all of those, if you know, have different aspects to them. The way Essential Stencil and the Stencil Smith are more, they use like a brush, a stenciling brush to stencil your stencils. Chalk Couture is more like silk screening. So we are going to work with a stencil brush today, and then I'm going to use Chalk Couture's ink because I like their ink. I'm not quite sure how it's going to try. I'm going to be experimenting today, y'all. I do a lot of experimenting because, you know, that's how we learn, right? So I'm just trying to get some of the creases out. I can iron this later if I have to, but I want to get the majority of the creases out of this. All right, so I'm going to fold up my parchment paper, and I will bring it back in a little bit. So, the event that we are in today. Hey, Maria, come on in. Hi, Elizabeth. Have you tried Magnolia? I have. I like their stencils. I find that the Chalk Couture stencils are just a little bit thicker, which makes a difference. The thing I like about Magnolia Design stencils is all of the scripture that they have. I wish they had the thickness of Chalk Couture, but the content of Magnolia Designs, I really love. You know, they have a, I don't know. I like Magnolia Designs content a lot. All right, so y'all are in Hen House and Bloom Company, Stars, Stripes, and Summer Nights, and we're also celebrating National Flag Day, June 14th. This is my birthday month, y'all. I'm gonna be 67 this year. How did that happen? I still feel like I'm 13 some days. All right, 9 o'clock today. We started off with Nesting by Robin. Then 10 o'clock, Hometown Homemade by Robin. We've got Robins, Julies, and Karens. Lots of them in this group, y'all. This is a time of my life that I have had so many different Julies around me in several different groups. There's floating around about 5 Julies in the different craft groups that I have experienced, and I'm not used to that. I'm used to being the only Julie. But matter of fact, I thought my mom made my name up when I was in the 2nd grade because there were no Julies. There were Kathys, there were Karens, there were Debbies, but no Julies. All right, so 11 o'clock was Vintage Flair by Julie. 12 was Magically Rustic Designs with Renee. Shop Paradise Creation was Karen and her amazing ability to teach how to do florals. If you want to learn how to do florals, check out Shop Paradise Creations with Karen, Karyn, and she's a great teacher. She's got a lot of talent in crafting, in florals. So if you're interested in learning florals, either her or Allison's Decor and More. They both do beautiful, beautiful florals. At 2 o'clock, right before me, was Orchid Lime Designs with Terry. Terry always brings something amazing to the table. And then, of course, me, Nothing is Wasted Designs. And 4 o'clock, after me, is Upcycled Decor by Karen. She is the VIP spotlight. It's my understanding she is new to the lineup, so please stay tuned after you're finished watching me and check out what Karen has to show us today. At 5 o'clock, one of our moderators, Creations by J&J with Joyce. Joyce is extremely talented. She is also a Chalk Couture designer. Chalk Couture designer, and she comes up with all kinds of creative ideas of ways to use the stencils and just a whole plethora of talent. At 6 o'clock, another one of our moderators with Allison's Accents and Decor. I mentioned her earlier. She is an amazing woman of God who just pulls together flowers and color in beautiful ways. And anyway, so you're going to want to hang in and see her. 7 o'clock, Creating with Love and Grace with Heather. And then at 8 o'clock, Crafty Basket Case with Michelle. Michelle offers up a lot of prints. I have not watched Love and Grace with Heather, Creating with Love and Grace, a whole lot. So that's why I didn't give her, a lot of accolades to go along with it. I'm going to have to watch her more so I can do better next time. Sorry, Heather, I'll do better next time. Crafty Basket Case with Michelle. She does a lot of prints, a lot of creative stuff. And then at 9 o'clock, our encourager of the group is Valerie Pick It Up Crafts. Valerie always has an encouraging word. She always has fun crafts. And if you are not a member of Hen House and Bloom event group, there's a link at the top of the page. Click the link, and then all you have to do is hit join. I think the word is join. And hey, Devana, how are you? But you can do all of the, you can see all of the crafters in one spot, or you can jump from page to page, depending upon how you want to do it. And but if you are in the group, then you can just refresh your page and go on to the next crafter. So it just makes it a little bit convenient. The other thing is if you're in the Hen House and Bloom Company group, boy, that's a mouthful, you will get notified when we go live on our events. Our events are mostly Mondays and Wednesdays, and then Thursday evenings. I think it's every other Thursday evening, but don't quote me on that. So lots of announcements. Y'all come on in and let's join the crowd and see what we're going to do. I really appreciate y'all coming in and supporting me. All right, so I'm going to take this wool mat out. We are going to bring in our stencil, which is God Bless America, Land That I Love. I think this is 18 inches if I'm not mistaken. But this is from The Stencil Smith. I am going to kind of center it on here. I'm going to get some tape. And we're going to get some stencil brushes and get this party started. So here we go, y'all. I'm going to just take some tape and anchor this down. I'm putting there is a hidden zipper. Y'all remember the hidden zippers? There's a hidden zipper at the bottom of this. This is a, oh, what do I want to say? A pillowcase. Why can I not remember the word pillowcase today? This is a pillowcase that I got from Chalk Couture. They come 2 to a pack. And this is a white. I like stark white. I know lots of people don't. They like to dirty everything up and grunge it all up. And I'm a stark white girl, so you probably are not going to see a whole lot of grunging. Every so often I will do something that I grunge, but it's for the most part on high contrast, sharp, vibrant colors, and that's pretty much what I like to work with. So here we go, y'all. So what I want to do is I want to take, all right, hang on a minute, because I need to get a blocker. I get these little pamphlets from Essential Stencil with every stencil, and I use them to block directions of where I don't want paint to be. All right, so here we go, y'all. I'm kind of out of cardboard, so I'm going to be using paper towels today. I need to cut up some cardboard. I'm going to use a stencil brush from Essential Stencil. And I'm going to take this little pamphlet here, and they tear very easily at the hinge. And I am going to use this to, all right, I think I want a little bit more water in here. Not a lot, but a little bit more water in here. I'm trying something different, y'all, so you're just going to have to come along for the ride with me. I'm taking Chalk Couture ink, which I want it really kind of thin, but not runny. And this way I can load my brush and then offload my brush, but still have the right amount of paint on here. The color that I'm working with, this is ink. This is not Chalk Couture's paste. This is ink, I-N-K. And the color that I'm working with is called Candy Apple Red. And I wanted the red to be just a little bit deeper of a red than what Chalk Couture makes right out of the factory. So I added a little bit of brown to it just to deepen it a little bit. Now you can also add a little bit of, just a drop or a hint. Oops, wrong end. Let's try that again. You can do just a hint of black, but don't use a whole lot. All right, so here we go. We're going to go into our ink, and the first dab that we do with our ink is going to have quite a bit on it. So I'm going to just kind of knock that off, and I'm going to bring it down to the bristles. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this paper towel, and I'm just going to rub the stencils around and the bristles around in a circle, and I'm kind of pushing those bristles up into, the paint up into the bristles. So again, I'm going to load it a second time. You can see there's just barely any on there. And I'm going to come over here and, I did tip do not disturb. So anyway, all right, so now I'm going to take this, and I'm going to start with America. And I am going to just kind of cover up these stars here. Let me get this out of the way. And we're going to go in here. And we're going to probably have to do more than one layer on this. But when you're working with these kinds of stencils, you want to make sure that you don't have too much ink or paste on your brush, because otherwise you'll end up with paint going underneath the stencil and you won't have as crisp of a design that way. So I'm just going to I'm going to grab some tape here because I do not want to go past this. All right, just this corner here. I just want to cover this up right here on this corner because this is going to be blue. Tape is your friend. Blockers are your friend. I'm just going to go right along that edge just in case, because I know me, I have a tendency to get going, and then before I know it, what's supposed to be blue is going to be red. So I'm just going to kind of block that off a little bit. You can use tape, you can use cardstock, you know, you can use a variety of different things to get things where you want them. All right, so I'm going to come back and I'm having to experiment with this because I don't know how much paint I'll be able, or ink I'll be able to load on here at a time. All right, the other thing that I'm doing, if you notice with my left hand, I am holding this stencil down so that it doesn't pop up. You want your stencil to be on a nice flat surface without any seams underneath it or anything like that. All right, I'm liking this color. Like I said, I added a little bit of brown to it so that it would be a little bit deeper of a red. Now, Chalk Couture also has a cherry, a color called cherry, in both the ink and in paste. And I did not have the cherry, so I had to improvise. So let's see how y'all are doing. Hey, Robin, good to see you. Welcome, welcome. All right, so here we go, y'all. I'm trying to deepen this color. I want this to be kind of sharp and crisp looking. I like high contrast, so I'm looking for a high contrast with the red to the white. And I'm just putting a little bit on at a time, and then coming over here and offloading, pushing this up into the bristles. And let's see, I want to cover this up. I think this is going to be the colors that I want, y'all. I didn't want anything real tomato-y looking. I wanted the red to be a little bit deeper. And then I'm still contemplating of whether or not I'm going to come back and maybe add some shimmer silver over top of this so that it has a little bit of a sheen. I mixed in a little bit of shimmer silver, what do you call it? Ink. Chalk Couture's shimmer silver ink. Oh no, and you know what I did? All right, hang on, y'all. I'm gonna see if this is gonna be a big mistake or not. Hold on. All right, I'm good. Hold on. Hold the presses. I am going to take this ink mat and slip it in here. Whew, that was close. Fortunately, this is thick enough that it didn't go through. but I'm going to put this in here. It's a sticky mat. It does exactly what it says it is. It's sticky. See if I can get this up in here. This will fit, this sticky mat will fit right inside this pillowcase perfectly, and it's going to kind of hold everything in place. All right, whew, that was close. It will also keep bleeding from going from the top to the inside. So God looked out for me once again. And so here we go. All right, making sure that this is good and down nice and snug. And we're gonna work this into the bristles, take off the extra. You wanna watch your hands to make sure that you do not have any ink on your hands so that you don't get it on your project, because the ink will not come out. Now, why am I using Chalk Couture ink instead of using like an acrylic or something else like that? All right, let me see here. The reason why is because I have worked with the ink quite a bit, and I like the softness of it, because we're going to come back and we are going to heat set this after I'm finished with everything. And by heat, there's something, I don't know what the heat causes it to do, but it softens the ink, and you won't be able to feel this. This is going to go right into the fabric. Remember, this is a pillow cover. So normally I would bling things up, or, kind of give it some sparkle and shine. But, you don't want to lay your head on a pillow with, rhinestones and things like that. So that's why I'm thinking I'm going to go over this with some shimmer silver. I'm not positive. We will see. So let's see how we're doing for time. Okay, we're good. We're good. We're good. And I'm just, like I said, I'm holding this down so that so there's no air between the stencil and the pillowcase. Alrighty. I'm liking this so far, y'all. Doing good, doing good. Different method. Like I said, the Chalk Couture is more like a silk screen where you run your paste and your ink over top of a mesh stencil. Both are fun to work with. They're just different methods and give different outcomes. I'm liking it. All right, I'm liking this color, y'all. The blue that I'm going to be using was a blue that was a color of the month for Chalk Couture. Last month or the month before. Every month Chalk Couture has a color of the month, and I don't even know. I should know what it is this month, but I don't. So, all right, here we go. Get nice crisp lines on this. All right, we're going to do all of America, and then we're going to do these stripes are going to be in red, and then we're going to come back and we're going to do the blue. All right, here we go, y'all. $250 years. How many of y'all were here when we celebrated 200 years? It seems like yesterday. The last big celebration while I was alive was 200. And, that was a huge milestone back then. And now we're at 250 years of our country's existence. It's just as crazy, isn't it? that we've been able to live through like 2 really big celebrations for those of us that, hey Shay. So July 4th, you know, everybody's been gearing up to celebrate. I've got a lot of stencils that I'm going to be working with here in a little bit, you know, over the next couple of weeks. All right, hold on. I'm going to need some more tape here because I don't want to go into this blue. That's going to be blue. All right, so now we're going to get this eye. And so I've got 3 different companies that are represented in this. The stencil is the Stencilsmith stencils. The paste, or the ink is Chalk Couture, and the brush is Essential Stencil. So it just goes to show that you've got lots of options out there. You're never stuck with one thing. And then, of course, you've got Amazon with their stencils. And you can get some really good stencils off of, off of Amazon. Don't be afraid to try these. You know, I hear a lot of people say they've tried the stencil brush and stencils, and they didn't have good luck with it. Chances are probably good that you're just not offloading your brush enough. If you don't offload your brush, you're going to get bleeding. All right, so we're going to come over here, and I'm going to block that. Can y'all see everything that I'm doing? I need to look up it looks like I can. Now, when I'm done stenciling, we're going to, if I have time, I'm going to heat set this. And after I heat set this, I'll be able to put this pillow cover in the washer and the dryer, and the ink won't come out. It'll stay in this. So I know how the ink functions, and that was another reason why I chose the Chalk Couture ink. I believe right now that Chalk Couture has a buy 5, get 1 free jar of either ink or paste, so you can mix and match them. But I've done t-shirts with this ink. I've done lots of aprons. I've done tote bags. Just a lot of variety with fabric and the ink. Okay, I really think what I want to do is, after I get this red on here, is I'm hoping I'm going to be able to go over with a really light coat of like a glittery silver. It's called Simmer Silver, and add some sparkle to this. So we'll see how this is going to work. How we doing on time? Oh, y'all, look at me go. I think I'm going to get this finished. We will see. So we don't have any big plans in our family for 4th of July this year, even though it is the 200th anniversary. My husband is back and forth between here and his mom's. She's in an assisted living home, and he's staying at her house. Half of, you know, he bounces back and forth, and so he's barely lucky to get back here to visit us. And about 3 days out of the week he's here, and then he's back there, and he's done a really good job of overseeing his mom's caretaking. So he goes to see her almost every day. It's an hour and a half commute to go to work from his mom's house. So, you know, he's been a good son. He's a great husband, great man, and you know, he's really good about helping people who are in need. All right, let's see what we got here, y'all. It's coming along. We are getting there, Now, I've done a couple of Stencil Smith stencils that look like stained glass that are really, really nice. Hey, Debbie, come on in. How are you feeling with the change you made and stuff? Oh, you know what? Thank you for asking that. I'm having good days and bad days, Trisha. You know, I'm not quite sure what's going on. I was hoping it was going to continue to do better, and some days I'm better. Wednesday of last week was a phenomenal day, and, you know, I was really looking forward to things continuing to progress, and, you know, they didn't. I haven't figured out how much food-related things are, you know, because if I eat, I don't know, it seems like I'm limited in what I can eat anymore at all these days. Oh boy, I didn't offload that. I hope that's not going to be a mistake. Fortunately, the fabric will drink up some of this, so it might make us a little more forgiving. But, you know, I'm still praying, still seeking God's wisdom on it, and we'll see what happens. I promise you that when I have better days, I will, y'all won't miss it. I told you the scripture that God gave me was in Acts with John and Peter at the beautiful gate. This was about 20 years ago. God promised me healing, and this has been a long journey. It has been a long, long journey, but God has sustained me the whole way. He hasn't left me, and I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot about herbs. I've learned a lot about, you know, what's good to eat and what's not good to eat. I've cut back a lot on sugar. I don't eat near as much sugar as I used to. I still eat sugar some. Sometimes it's just like, oh, I just want to have a brownie. But my mobility is, you know, I'm still using the walker around the house, and if we have to walk for long distances, like when we go outside the house, then I'm in a wheelchair. So, which I hate, but, you know, at least I have a wheelchair where I can get out and do things with people. So I'm not, you know, totally bound at home. My dentist, oh my gosh, they are just so amazing. They, you know, they accommodate for my lack of mobility and help me and all kinds of stuff. All right, so we got the red here. I'm going to let that sit for a minute, and I'm going to just put this off to the side, and I'm going to grab another small brush, and now we are going to do some blue, y'all. So now I need to take this tape up. So one of the things, you know, that, you know, I've grown a lot as far as, you know, understanding and learning more about my identity as a child of God through this journey. Right now, my son and I are studying about deliverance. And, all right, I want to make sure I don't get my fingers that have ink on them in this section here. It's been quite an interesting journey. It's I can't say it's all been fun, but it's all been worthwhile. And you know, it's all right. So this is the color we're going to use. This is like a deep navy. This is the color called Home, H-O-M-E. And I am going to get rid of this paper towel. And just kind of toss that. And toss this one too, so I don't mix it with the blue. I just have a stack of paper towels here. And we're going to start. This one looks bigger. It is bigger. Hold on. I want a small brush. This one's smaller. I'm going to do the same thing I did with the red. I'm going to dip this in here. Let me show you. I'm going to get just a little bit on there. And now I'm going to take and I'm going to scrape that off back into the container. And I'm going to come over here and I'm going, ooh, this is going to be pretty. I'm just pushing the paint up into the bristles and offloading any excess paint that is in there. And I'm going to do it again. I like to do it a couple of times before I get started. All right, so I'm going to do this part up here in the dark blue. And I'm going to come back, cover up that A so that I don't go into the A. I'm going to grab, because this fabric is drinking this up like it's thirsty. That's why I'm actually loading my brush more than if I was on a regular surface. All right, here we go, y'all. Oh, this is going to be pretty. And I'm just going clockwise and then counterclockwise. All right, I got to think of what I'm doing. Okay, so this is going to be blue. And like I said, I'm not going to be grunging this up. This is going to be high contrast up against the white. All right, here we go. Going to add a little bit more blue here. Offload. And I'm going to come up here, holding the stencil down so that the ink doesn't go underneath the stencil. Now, if I had I might get a piece of fabric and just try this ink with a squeegee on, with this, what do you call it? Stencil, and see what happens. But, all right, so I'm going to go all the way in here with blue. That's thick. Clockwise, then counterclockwise, just so that you get all the different angles. I'm glad that I remembered, at least early on, to put that ink mat in between the layers so that it didn't bleed through to the back or something. All right, just kind of going slow when I get next to the red. I think I've got plenty of room that, okay. All right, here we go. We're going to load again. We're going to offload. And we're going to come in here. And this is going to be blue. Probably need to bring some tape out. Now, one thing that I have found, I don't know if it's going to affect the stencils or not, but I have found that when I am cleaning these stencils, if the paste or the ink or the paint has dried on the stencil, that rubbing alcohol will take it off. So just a little FYI. You might want to try testing it on a small scrap of a small stencil before you try putting the rubbing alcohol. Now, do not put rubbing alcohol on Chalk Couture stencils. It'll eat right through them because it's a mesh stencil. This is a plastic, like a Mylar. All right, we're getting there. We're getting there. How are we doing on time? Oh, my goodness. Maybe I need to hurry. I've still got one more. After we get this blue on here, we're going to come back, and there's an overlay with some stars that all right, let me get this. Right up next to that edge. And I'm pretty much putting a good amount of this blue in here because I'm finding that the fabric is absorbing it, so I'm not too worried about it. It may take it a little bit longer to dry, but it'll be okay. Like I said, I've worked with this ink enough to know that it'll be fine. Okay. Just trying to get right here in this corner, and I think I'm going to go for some more tape, y'all. I think this is going to be really pretty when we get it done. I'd love to, you know, gold would be pretty with this too, but I think I'm going to go with some silver over top of the, I might be able, I wonder if I can do silver over top of all of it and just give it a shimmer, which is what I'm hoping for. All right, so we got that. We got this, got the top, got the red. Now we're going to come in here, and I'm going to pick up some more ink, offload, and we're going to come in here. We're going to block that part of the A so that we don't get the blue on the A. And then I'm going to come over here where the stripes are, and I'm going to block that off. So many different options. The other thing that you can do with these stencils is you could take like a, oh, I just lost the word, like a palette knife with, oh, what's the white stuff called, y'all, that you can do over top of this and get a raised look. So you can have that. Modeling clay. Not modeling clay. Modeling, hold on a minute. That's bugging me. That's gesso. That's glass beads. Hold on. Modeling paste. Modeling paste, modeling paste. You can take modeling paste and go over top of these stencils, and it'll give you a raised look. All right, here we go. I'm getting more and more brazen. I'll probably regret it, but we'll see. I'm adding a little bit more of this ink to this so that I'm getting a lot better coverage. And it's not going to run because it's still pretty thick. All right, here we go. Almost there, y'all. We're going to move this, and we'll come over here. Depending upon what the lettering or the design is of the stencil, if you saw, sometimes I just run along that edge because there's like a circle, and I was just running along that edge so that I could get in there real well. All right, and then we're going to come over here. And we're going to offload. I think I'm going to start with just the red, trying to put some silver on the red and see how that does. And we'll just take it from there. All right, here we go. Gonna pick this up and move it. Oh, I got to get the stars too. I forgot about the stars. I'm not going to do the silver because I want to at least get the main part of the stencil done for y'all. All right, here we go. I got plenty of ink up in the brush and it's coming out nicely. And I'm going to cover up that red. Hold down the stencil so that, okay. All right, let me wash my hands, y'all. If you don't leave enough airspace in these fine misters, they won't spray. All right, just getting all of this off of my hands before I move on to the white. I've got 10 minutes. I think we're gonna make it here, y'all. I don't think I'm gonna be able to heat set it. When I heat set it, I will heat set it on 350 degrees, no, 305 degrees for 30 seconds in each section on the front, and then I'll flip it inside out and I'll do it 30 seconds. But I want everything to be dry before I heat set it. Hey, Kim, welcome in. Thank you for joining us. So for those of y'all who are new to my page, I'm Julie with Nothing Is Wasted Designs, and my name comes from John chapter 6, verse 12. All right, I'm going to have to dry this before I can add the stars. And that was when, actually I don't want to use that. I want to use this one. That was when Jesus was feeding the 5,000. And after he was finished feeding everyone, he told the disciples to, take the baskets and go pick up the leftovers so that nothing is wasted. God doesn't waste anything that happens in our lives. All right, so I'm just going to focus on this section right in here because I want to get the stars on there. And I don't really want to put them on there until this is dry. Ooh, y'all are gonna love this. It is a big stencil. I think it's like 18 inches. This will fit on a 16-inch round. The actual image will fit on a 16-inch round. So from here to here is gonna be a little less than 16 inches. Oh gosh. I gotta be careful not to melt that ink mat that's underneath it. I always forget about that. All right, let's get our stars on here now, y'all. Let's see, how does this go? It's got to go this way. Fits in here. Let's see here. Fits there. Fits right there. All right, looks like it's gonna lay right in here. It would help if, all right, this is right in here. That doesn't look like it fits there. What is that? Let's see if it goes this way. No, I don't think it does. Huh? Maybe it does. All right, hang on, y'all. I gotta figure out. Doesn't make sense if that would be there. All right, this, maybe that goes right in. No. No. All right, hang on. That doesn't make sense. All right, let me try turning it over this way. This may be the hardest part of the project. All right, that looks like it fits right there in the corner, but those stars there don't fit. All right, give me a minute. I wonder if I need to take this stencil off. I'm thinking I may. What does that go to? All right, hold on, y'all. All right, that looks like it fits there. That goes there. You know what? I'm wondering if I need to take this off. Once I take it off, it's off, but let's do it. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Oh, I wanted to do the silver. All right, hold on. Let me see something here. Oh my gosh, y'all. Can y'all see that? Wow. Wow, 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 wow. All right, before I take this off, let me get another brush, and I want to go over this with the silver. Just a real, real, real faint, because I'm going to have the best lineup before I take this off. So let me just, all right, let's see what this is going to do. All right, this is going to work. This is going to do what I want it to do. I'm just going to kind of brush some shimmer silver over this, and it's giving it just a hint of glitter, which is what I want. Not heavy, just enough that it's going to shimmer in the light. I'll do the stars in a minute, but I want to get this on here. All right, and so now, oh yeah, this was a good idea. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of tone this down a little bit and come back and almost like I'm blending it. All right, I need to grab this spot here. I missed that. How am I doing on time? I got 4 minutes. Okay. All right, we're going to lift this up, y'all, because I want you to see this. And I will deal with the stars how we can. Let's see what we got. All right, let me turn it around for you. All right, you ready? Put this off to the side. I'll show you what we got. Look at that. Is that not gorgeous? I love it. I love it. All right, let me hold it up long enough for y'all to see. So, you are in an event with Hen House and Bloom Company. After me is Upcycle Decor by Karen. You're going to want to hang in there and see her. Okay, this makes more sense. Now that I've got this off of here, it makes it kind of you can see where everything fits. And it's going to go right there, and I'm going to put my stars over top of that. Thank you to Rooster Ridge Sunflower with Ollie, Shop Paradise Creations with Karen, Magically Rustic Designs with Renee, who are our admin. And thank you to our moderators, Allison's Accents and Decor, and Creations by J&J with Joyce. Y'all, this is an amazing group of women that love the Lord and who also, that doesn't make sense there. They're very, very talented group of crafters. Thanks, Shay. All right, so I got to figure these stars out, y'all. They're not fitting in here like a glove like I want them to. It's like I get them in one spot, but they don't fit. All right, I think that's it right there. I'm going to put some stars right in here. And I'm just trying to get this lined up exactly. And I think that's it. I think I got it. But I'm pretty much out of time, so I will post this on the Hen House in Bloom, in the Hen House in Bloom group. I will, after I'm finished this, I'm going to let this dry. I'm probably going to let it dry overnight. Then I'm going to heat set it. And I don't have a pillow form to put in here, but I don't think, if I do, I'll put this in a pillow form, and, you know, we'll just go from there. So y'all have a great day. I hope that I've inspired you to try something new. I'm Julie with Nothing Is Wasted Designs, and head on over to, Upcycle Decor by Karen and check out what she's going to do. And y'all have a great night. I love you. Jesus loves you more. And I hope that you'll come back and join the group and be part of us. All right? Love y'all. Bye-bye.